Welcome to the JLC Podcast, presented by the Jorgensen Learning Center. Change the conversation, change the results. Here's Dr. Ray Jorgensen.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today for a JLC chat. This is the JLC chat room. We're going to have a chat today between Terry Moulton, former DSG for NAVMed, and also Joe Marshall, member of the Secretariat, who is now happily part of our team, the JLC team, and he is doing executive coaching, if not daily, multiple times daily. So it's great to have you both with us today. Why we're here is to explore executive coaching, really talk about why does it matter? We'd like to develop an understanding with you about what executive coaching could look like for you, so that each of you, if you choose to take on a coach, you would know how to use the coach and how the coach could add value to your current leadership position. So, Terry, what did you hear me say?
I heard that you say that you're making an introduction of executive coaching, that you'll offer the opportunity for how to get involved or how to trigger executive coaching, and to take advantage of it as we go forward in our leadership journey.
Nice. It's definitely an add value activity, and you said that beautifully. Joe, what were you hearing and what are you thinking?
Yes, so I heard much the same thing that Terry heard, but I'm also thinking that, coaching is not something that is well understood in Navy medicine, and it's a real asset to members of the triad and other members, other leaders across the board. And so we are looking forward to having this conversation with people so they have a little better idea of what coaching is and how they can get it. I think a lot of people have no experience really with executive coaching and really have not heard of it. So hopefully today's recording will help to fill those blanks and open up some portals for people about executive coaching.
Nice. I like that opening of portals. I think that's really, really good. So we've kind of set the stage, and for those of you that are studying conversational leadership with us, that's a form of a check-in. So when somebody actually states the intention of the meeting, and I did a CEO, context, why are we talking about this? Purpose, what are we going to understand together? Outcome, what might each of you do? And then I asked each of our participants to answer the question, what did you hear me say? What did that mean to you? That is a form of a check-in. So actually, I combined CPO and creating focus in the first little bit of this meeting so far. Well, at this point, I'm going to invite my two colleagues and friends to kind of begin a little conversation about executive coaching. And Joe is going to start it, and he's going to almost like interview our colleague, Terry Moulton, former Deputy Surgeon General with Navy Medicine. And Joe has been part of the Secretariat for years, was also a leader in BioMed, and is now gratefully part of the JLC team, where he is bringing his talents and capabilities to this world of support, leadership support. So Joe, why don't you start us off and have a little chat with Terry about this executive coaching thing?
Yeah, so Terry, again, I know you have been an advocate for and a recipient of coaching over the years. I think many people think of coaching as something that's not available to many, or is only available to perhaps executives who are in some kind of distress. When the truth is quite different, that coaching is actually used in the marketplace in America and in much of DoD as a way for executives to reach out, get another set of experiences, and get someone else they can talk to about their issues, concerns, brainstorm solutions, and figure out a way ahead. Is that your experience with coaching?
Oh, very much so. It really allows you to sit back, think for a minute. Our days are very, very busy, and we don't have time to finish one project till we move on to the next, or one issue to the next. So executive coaching really allows you to focus on an issue, or just to think through some things that are going on in a non-threatening way. It really gives you the time to do that.
Yes, so you've touched on a key component of coaching, which is that, again, the work and the specific discussions that go on between the two individuals in a coaching arrangement, that those are kept in confidence, that there's no summary or reporting out to anybody else. Again, this is work between two individuals just trying to explore the space about how do I develop this skill, or in this situation, what are the ways that I look at all the alternatives and figure out what the best and strongest path forward is. Again, that has been your experience?
Absolutely. As an example, when I was the commanding officer in Okinawa, I had a concern that was being expressed by the staff, and I went up to the labor and delivery area, took the XO with me, sat down with the team up there, made a list of what's going on, and then started taking action on it. And then from an executive coaching standpoint, I was allowed to take that, or not allowed, but I took that and shared with my coach, hey, here's what I'm thinking. These are the actions that I've taken. What else should I be thinking of or considering in taking action with? And the coach was just great in reinforcing the decisions that I made, but also giving me some other things to think about.
Yeah. So, one of the interesting characteristics of the CO's office is that it's a lonely place.
Yes.
Can you reflect on that for a moment for our audience?
Well, you're sort of by yourself, right? And your eyes and ears are open all the time. You're watching the command climate. You're watching what's going on down the hallway. You're looking at the faces of patients that are walking in your hospital, and you don't have anybody to talk to about your observations that for yourself. So that executive coach gives you an opportunity to say, hey, this is what I'm observing, and this is what I'm thinking about. And then that executive coach just said, hey, have you thought about this or thought about that? So I think it's really good.
And certainly my experience afloat is that, as the captain, you're frequently regarded as the ultimate answer. And again, when you're operating perhaps 10,000 miles from any kind of support that's physical anyway, then you become very self-reliant. And so many times that sense of self-reliance, though, which we value and want to build upon, is also taken as, well, I can't really talk to anybody about my issues because that would be a sign of weakness, or I should know the answers to all this. But I think the truth is that, again, given the serious nature of the command responsibilities, it really makes you think about, okay, what is the best path forward, and have I really thought about the most effective things to do in a given circumstance? And again, you remain the decision maker throughout any kind of coach relationship. The coach isn't going to decide for you. The coach is going to give you some things to think about, and then you have to, again, you with the responsibility have to make the best decision you can possibly make.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on your shoulders, and the coach just helps you process that, right? There's 6 ways to do any one thing, and if you've only thought of 4 of them, maybe that executive coach helps you think about those other 2 things or the other 2 options that you might have in front of you.
Right. So currently, Terry, I'm the coaching that I'm doing is with a fair number of COs and several XOs. And also recently, at the request of the force, I've started to work with Command Master Chiefs. Mm-hmm. So as you think about coaching for those 3, for all the members of the triad there, could you just talk a little bit about how you think coaching can improve the triad or help the triad?
Yeah, the triad, they've got to be in sync together, right? And so I think being able to coach any one of those members allows them to think out loud. Here's what I'm doing to support the triad, or here's the things that I think they ought to be doing. They can bounce their ideas off that coach in a non-threatening way. And it really helps them become a better team member as it relates to the triad.
Yeah. So, but they really work in different realms, though, right? So the coaching has a little different flavor for each of them, is what is my experience. Because again, the coaching is always about you and what do you need. It isn't about what the coach thinks you need. Right. It isn't about some theory or of all the things you should know. It's focused on, what is your situation today, and what are the skills that you would like to be better at? Because all of us have varying strengths and weaknesses. So there's always things to be better at. And given the variability in all the commands, again, some may be really struggling with aspects of care, aspects of readiness, aspects of personnel. And so we really focus the coaching to help the CO, the XO, or the Command Master Chief, explore those spaces more effectively. So if you could speak directly to COs, XOs, and Command Master Chiefs, or to other members of the command, because, again, we focus a lot of the executive coaching at that level. But there's also others who might need or want coaching for their professional development. But to all of the members out there, if you could reach out and just give them a few succinct sentences about coaching to remember, what would that be?
I will tell you that each of them have such an opportunity to take advantage of an executive coach. So I would encourage the triad, members of the command, just to think about it, and because it's totally on you and it's for you, it's confidential, non-threatening, and it really just makes you a better individual, better leader going forward. So I want to encourage our members in Navy medicine to seek it out and to participate. Even in your professional organizations, I have training courses now on executive coaching, and I like to attend those when I go to my professional organization, because it's become such a valuable asset for you as a leader, a manager, as a professional. So just encourage them to take advantage.
Yeah, to take advantage. And again, the science behind executive coaching is that, the payoff in terms of executives having an enriched set of experiences to pull from, the payoff is like 1 to 6, 1 to 8. I mean, it's a significant payoff for the time and money invested in it. And the studies also show that, your productivity and your effectiveness in doing your job goes up, somewhere between 40 and, 80%. Mm-hmm. So again, there's lots of evidence that says, reach out, don't go it alone. And again, I think for the three of us in this conversation, much of our working lives, there was no one to reach out to. There was no structure to reach to. And so we were survivors, and we did the best we could, and we called on our peers, and we made it work. We would hope that people today would understand that there's a better network, and that the SG, under the priorities he has set for a learning organization across Navy medicine, has really set a terrific goal, and we're here to help.
Absolutely. Yep.
Anything else you want to add, Terry?
No, I just, again, it's an opportunity. Take advantage of it. Like you were saying, the Fortune 500 companies, a lot of them, a majority of them participate with executive coaching. I know that the Navy Secretariat had the senior execs have a coach. We in Navy medicine have been trying to bring that along with us, and it's growing, and it's an opportunity for the senior execs and the triads and other members of the Navy medicine to take advantage of it. And I'm excited for Navy medicine. It'll make you a better person, and excited that it's going to help the organization as well.
Yes, and just to foot stomp what you said, when I worked in the Secretariat, the Secretary expected all of us to have coaches because he understood the value and the enrichment that it brings. Ray, have we missed anything in this conversation?
Not at all. I think you guys did a great job talking about it from a very practical standpoint. I love the way you talked about confidentiality, and the other part that happens if the coaching relationship is special, everybody's vulnerable. Nobody shows up knowing exactly what to do. We explore possibilities, and we discipline ourselves to stay in that inquiry, constantly balancing advocacy. We should do this. Okay, let's inquire a little bit and see whether or not there's something more to say. You guys were magnificent. Thank you so much.
So Ray, before we go, if someone out there is interested in coaching from JLC, how should they reach out to us?
Now, they give multiple ways, but the easiest way is if you're in a command or an activity, tell your CO. Otherwise, you can reach us at gojlc.com. That's our website, and there's a space in there for you to actually ask a question, get a phone number, and sign up to have a little bit of executive coaching. We have lots of coaches. They are all certified JLC associates, and they're all specialized in the fields of conversational leadership and coaching. So right off our website, it's www.gojlc.com. And I'm sure you'll hear a little bit about that at the end of this when you hear Brett Slater talk about this particular session. So well done, men. I can't thank you enough for the way you illuminated how this could be used to help people develop themselves on their leadership journey. Nice job. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today, and feel free to reach out to us. Reach out to us. Give us a ring and talk through it with us. There's no charge for a chat, and we can find a way to see if there is something we can do to support you in your leadership journey. Thank you very much for being with us today. We wish you all well. Thank you.
The Jorgensen Learning Center provides leaders with a practical framework to use conversation as a discipline to create a high-performance environment where people are energized to share, contribute, and succeed together. To learn more, visit gojlc.com.